Do you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Yeah, Luke Parkinson, Parko, Cyclor here at INEOS Britannia.
Could you tell us a bit more about your role in the INEOS Britannia team?
My role on board the AC75 is to help to power the boat, so winding pedals that then in turn move hydraulic pumps, and that allows us to move the sails and control the boat.
How has the America's Cup been so far?
It's been pretty intense. It's been a pretty long journey for us. We've been in Palma and now in Barcelona. Yeah, it's a nice big community and it's right at the pointy end now.
How important is the community and the team, and how many people are really involved in the mechanics of the INEOS Britannia team?
I guess when we work quite long hours, everyone's invested in it so much. A lot of people are away from family and friends. They've moved here to lovely Barcelona. The atmosphere and the team sensation is such a big part of that.
How much of it is mental compared to physical?
There's a fine balance between technology, physical power, mental, and sort of finding that balance of if you have the technology, you probably don't have to be as powerful, but then there's a point where the stronger you are, the better you can move the systems on the boat. And then to be able to deliver that day in, day out is very much mental. Because the racing's so close, you have to be quite tough mentally to bounce back from the losses.
How much physicality is needed? How much work do you do outside of sailing?
Yeah, it's moved to cycling, so like earlier on in the campaign, a lot more sort of duration, level 2 long rides and things like that, but now we're at the pointy end. It's intervals most days that we can squeeze it in, just balancing that fatigue. Earlier in the campaign, when there was, I guess, time to have mishaps, we would ride quite a bit outdoors. It's quite hard to get the right intensity balance and hit the zones outdoors, like with the discipline. So quite a bit of Zwift. We're not allowed to ride outdoors anymore.
Obviously, you've had a really long, successful sailing career. What is your career highlights so far and your favourite memory?
I think for me, yeah, I've been very lucky with my career, and I think the highlight for me is still probably sailing around the world and going around Cape Horn. That part where you get to finally turn north was very special to me and something I'll always remember.
How long did it take you to sail around the world? Which Luke's done twice.
Yeah, usually about a 9-month journey. So it's quite a big thing, but it was also one of the starting points in my career.
But that must be so hard for so long, being so far away from family and normality.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. You're very disconnected, I suppose, from the world. You're not really, there's no phones, there's only a couple of emails here or there to loved ones that get checked by other people. So it's a very different world almost, and it's definitely an endurance race, and just you learn a lot about yourself, how far you can push yourself.
So you've done the America's Cup, you've done sailing around the world. What was your pathway into what you're doing now?
Yeah, my pathway, I started doing Olympic sailing, and then from there I did the Youth America's Cup, along with as many sort of ocean races as I could sort of sneak in to help fund my Olympic sailing, to break through and get the first opportunity to be one of the major teams is kind of what got the ball rolling.
So if I wanted to get into sailing, what would be the first step?
Probably doing the Learn to Sail course back in England would be a good start.
And then
local club racing, then your state, your nationals, Europeans, worlds, things like that, and then progressing towards Olympic classes or foiling classes. And now there's other avenues like the Women's America's Cup and the Youth America's Cup.
And what is the best piece of advice you've ever received for sailing?
Know all the spots on the boat and to be able to find everything, so that if anything needs repairing or whatnot, you know exactly where everything is, and you're sort of that person that people start to become to rely on.
And what would be your favourite go-to snack or meal after a long day on the boat?
Oh, at the moment it's hot chips.
And what is still to come in the America's Cup, and what have we got to look out for?
Yeah, so from Thursday we're into the Louis Vuitton Cup Finals against Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, and first to 7 wins. So if we can wiggle our way through that and come out in front, then we'll make it through to the America's Cup. So it's really crunch time over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we can make it through to the grand finale.
Yeah, best of luck. Thank you for chatting to us today.
Thanks.